Welcome to the Archaeology Studio. Today's episode considers thought process and work tasks in archaeology. In my view, the thought process in archaeology always operates in one way or another, regardless of whatever specific work task might be performed. In the simplest terms, the thought process involves a logical relationship among theory, method, and technique. If any part is flawed or imbalanced, then the larger thought process can become weakened or ineffective. I prepared a separate video about theory, method, and technique in archaeology. Here I can summarize the key points of most relevance for discussing thought process and work tasks in archaeology. You can think of theory as the sets of concepts and ideas that allow you to formulate hypotheses about the world. In archaeology, you might hypothesize that through time, stone tools were replaced by metal tools. If you can prove this basic descriptive hypothesis, then you might be able to continue with another explanatory hypothesis about why the choice of raw material changed through time. In any case, you should be able to isolate or separate one hypothesis from another, or else the logical thought process will be flawed from the start. In order to test one hypothesis at a time, you would need to obtain relevant information through use of a data gathering technique. Using the hypothesis about stone tools versus metal tools, you might need to find an archaeological site that contains a chronological sequence of those tools. If you can identify a change through time in the proportions of stone versus metal tools, then you may be able to test your hypothesis. In order to analyze or interpret the data findings, then you would need to apply method that logically links between the technique and the theory. If you have excavated a series of archaeological layers that contain different amounts of stone tools versus metal tools, then you could apply various analytic and interpretive methods toward testing your hypothesis. As you may have noticed, the functions of theory, method, and technique always depend to some extent on each other. If you specialize too much in one aspect without considering the others, then you can expect to meet serious logical problems. If you can apply your skills in critical thinking and logical reasoning, then you should be able to identify the strengths and weaknesses of a thought process in archaeology or in any scientific discipline. Whatever work task I might perform in archaeology, I keep in mind about the roles of theory, method, and technique toward accomplishing my goal. In another video, I mentioned 6 general work task categories of exploration, site recording, excavation, laboratory processing, data analysis, and reporting. I would add one more task of generating ideas and hypotheses. You may have noticed that these different work tasks involve varying degrees of practical technique, analytic or interpretive method, and conceptual theory. In my work, I regularly remind myself about how I am applying these different aspects of the total thought process. In particular, I consider how the roles of theory, method, and technique relate with each other. With this brief outline about thought process and work tasks in archaeology, you should be able to evaluate these strengths and weaknesses in your work and in any other work that you might encounter. If you want to explore more about these issues, then I can recommend to see the other videos in this channel or to add your thoughts and suggestions in the comment section of this video. Please remember to subscribe to this channel, share with your friends, and see new videos every month with the Archaeology Studio.